Thou art long-suffering in thy judgments and righteous in all thy deeds. By thy wisdom all things exist from eternity, and before creating them thou knew their works forever and ever. Nothing is done without thee, and nothing is known unless thou desire it. Thou hast created all the spirits, and hast established a statute and law for all their works. Thou hast spread the heavens for thy glory, and hast appointed all their hosts according to thy will, the mighty winds according to their laws before they became angels of holiness, and eternal spirits in their dominions, the heavenly lights to their mysteries, the stars to their paths, the clouds to their tasks, the thunderbolts and lightnings to their duty, and the perfect treasuries of snow and hail to their purposes, to their mysteries. Thou hast created the earth by thy power, and the seas and deeps by thy might. Thou hast fashioned all their inhabitants according to thy wisdom, and hast appointed all that is in them according to thy will. And to the spirit of man which thou hast formed in the world, thou hast given dominion over the works of thy hands for everlasting days and unending generations. In their ages thou hast allotted to them tasks during all their generations, and judgment in their appointed seasons. According to the rule of the two spirits, for thou hast established their ways forever and ever, and hast ordained from eternity their visitation for reward and chastisements. Thou hast allotted it to all their seed for eternal generations and everlasting years. In the wisdom of thy knowledge thou didst establish their destiny before ever they were. All things exist according to thy will, and without thee nothing is done. It is thou who hast created breath for the tongue, and thou knowest its words. Thou didst establish the fruit of the lips before ever they were. Thou laid words on a measuring line, and the flow of breath from the lips on a rule. Thou bring forth sounds according to their mysteries, and the flow of breath from the lips according to its reckoning, that they may tell of thy glory and recount thy wonders in all thy works of truth and in all thy righteous judgments, and that thy name may be praised by the mouth of all men, and that they may know thee according to their understanding and bless thee forever. By thy mercies and by thy great goodness. Thou hast strengthened the spirit of man in the face of the scourge, and hast purified the erring spirit of a multitude of sins, that it may declare thy marvels in the presence of all thy creatures. I will declare to the assembly of the simple the judgments by which I was scourged, and to the sons of men all thy wonders by which thou hast shown thyself mighty in me in the presence of the sons of Adam. Hear, O you wise men, and meditate on knowledge. O you fearful, be steadfast. Increase in prudence, O all you simple. O just men, put away iniquity. Hold fast to the covenant, O all you perfect of way. O all you afflicted with misery, be patient and despise no righteous judgment. But the foolish of heart shall not comprehend these things. Upon my uncircumcised lips thou hast laid a reply. Thou hast upheld my soul, strengthening my loins and restoring my power. My foot has stood in the realm of ungodliness. I have been a snare to those who rebel, but healing to those of them who repent, prudence to the simple, and steadfastness to the fearful of heart. To traitors thou hast made of me a mockery and scorn, but a counsel of truth and understanding to the upright of way. I have been iniquity for the wicked, ill repute on the lips of the fierce. The scoffers have gnashed their teeth. I have been a byword to traitors. The assembly of the wicked has raged against me. They have roared like turbulent seas, and their towering waves have spat out mud and slime. But to the elect of righteousness thou hast made me a banner, and a discerning interpreter of wonderful mysteries, to try those who practice truth and to test those who love correction. To the interpreters of error I have been an opponent, but a man of peace to all those who see truth. To all those who seek smooth things I have been a spirit of zeal. Like the sound of the roaring of many waters, so have all the deceivers thundered against me. All their thoughts were devilish schemings. They have cast towards the pit the life of the man whose mouth thou hast confirmed, and into whose heart thou hast put teaching and understanding, that he might open a fountain of knowledge to all men of insight. They exchanged them for lips of uncircumcision, and for the foreign tongue of a people without understanding, that they might come to ruin in their straying. I thank thee, O Lord. They caused me to be like a ship on the deeps of the sea, and like a fortified city before the aggressor, and like a woman in travail with her firstborn child, upon whose belly pangs have come and grievous pains, filling with anguish her child-bearing crucible. For the children have come to the throes of death, and she labors in her pains who bears the man. For amid the throes of death she shall bring forth a man-child, and amid the pains of hell there shall spring from her child-bearing crucible a marvelous mighty counselor, and the man shall be delivered from out of the throes. When he is conceived, all wombs shall quicken, and the time of their delivery shall be in grievous pains. They shall be appalled who are with child. And when he is brought forth, every pang shall come upon the child-bearing crucible. And they, the conceivers of vanity, shall be prey to terrible anguish. The wombs of the pit shall be prey to all the works of horror. The foundations of the wall shall rock like a ship upon the face of the waters. The heavens shall roar with a noise of roaring, and those who dwell in the dust as well as those who sail the seas shall be appalled by the roaring of the waters. All their wise men shall be like sailors on the deeps, for all their wisdom shall be swallowed up in the midst of the howling seas. As the abysses boil above the fountains of the waters, the towering waves and billows shall rage with the voice of their roaring. And as they rage, hell and Abaddon shall open, and all the flying arrows of the pit shall send out their voice to the abyss. And the gates of hell shall open on all the works of vanity, and the doors of the pit shall close on the conceivers of wickedness, and the everlasting bars shall be bolted on all the spirits of naught. I thank thee, O Lord, for thou hast redeemed my soul from the pit, and from the hell of Abaddon thou hast raised me up to everlasting height. I walk on limitless level ground, and I know there is hope for him whom thou hast shaped from dust for the everlasting counsel. Thou hast cleansed a perverse spirit of great sin, that it may stand with the host of the holy ones, and that it may enter into community with the congregation of the sons of heaven. Thou hast allotted to man an everlasting destiny amidst the spirits of knowledge, that he may praise thy name in a common rejoicing and recount thy marvels before all thy works. And yet I, a creature of clay, what am I? Kneaded with water, what is my worth and my might? For I have stood in the realm of wickedness, and my lot was with the damned. The soul of the poor one was carried away in the midst of great tribulation. Miseries of torment dogged my steps, while all the snares of the pit were opened, and the lures of wickedness were set up, and the nets of the damned were spread on the waters, while all the arrows of the pit flew out without cease, and striking, left no hope, while the rope beat down in judgment, and a destiny of wrath fell upon the abandoned, and a venting of fury upon the cunning. It was a time of the wrath of all Satan, and the bonds of death tightened without any escape. The torrents of Satan shall reach to all sides of the world. In all their channels a consuming fire shall destroy every tree, green and barren, on their banks. Unto the end of their courses it shall scourge with flames of fire, and shall consume the foundations of the earth and the expanse of dry land. The bases of the mountains shall blaze, and the roots of the rocks shall turn to torrents of pitch. It shall devour as far as the great abyss. The torrents of Satan shall break into Abaddon, and the deeps of the abyss shall groan amid the roar of heaving mud. The land shall cry out because of the calamity fallen upon the world, and all its deeps shall howl, and all those upon it shall rave and shall perish amid the great misfortune. For God shall sound his mighty voice, and his holy abode shall thunder with the truth of his glory. The heavenly host shall cry out, and the world's foundations shall stagger and sway. The war of the heavenly warriors shall scourge the earth, and it shall not end before the appointed destruction which shall be forever and without compare. I thank thee, O Lord, for thou art as a fortified wall to me, and as an iron bar against all destroyers. Thou hast set my feet upon rock, that I may walk in the way of eternity and in the paths which thou hast chosen. I thank thee, O Lord, for thou hast illumined my face by thy covenant. I seek thee, and sure as the dawn thou appear as perfect light to me. Teachers of lies have smoothed thy people with words, and false prophets have led them astray. They perish without understanding, for their works are in folly. For I am despised by them, and they have no esteem for me, that thou may manifest thy might through me. They have banished me from my land like a bird from its nest. All my friends and brethren are driven far from me and hold me for a broken vessel. And they, teachers of lies and seers of falsehood, have schemed against me a devilish scheme, to exchange the law engraved on my heart by thee for the smooth things they speak to thy people. And they withhold from the thirsty the drink of knowledge, and assuage their thirst with vinegar, that they may gaze on their straying, on their folly concerning their feast days, on their fall into their snares. But thou, O God, dost despise all Satan's designs. It is thy purpose that shall be done, and the design of thy heart that shall be established forever. As for them, they dissemble, they plan devilish schemes. They seek thee with a double heart and are not confirmed in thy truth. A root bearing poisoned and bitter fruit is in their designs. They walk in stubbornness of heart and seek thee among idols, and they set before them the stumbling block of their sin. They come to inquire of thee from the mouth of lying prophets deceived by error, who speak with strange lips to thy people, and an alien tongue, that they may cunningly turn all their works to folly. For they hearken not to thy voice, nor do they give ear to thy word. Of the vision of knowledge they say, it is unsure, and of the way of thy heart, it is not the way. But thou, O God, wilt reply to them, chastising them in thy might because of their idols and because of the multitude of their sins, that they who have turned aside from thy covenant may be caught in their own designs. Thou wilt destroy in judgment all men of lies, and there shall be no more seers of error. For in thy works is no folly, no guile in the design of thy heart. But those who please thee shall stand before thee forever. Those who walk in the way of thy heart shall be established forevermore. Clinging to thee I will stand. I will rise against those who despise me, and my hand shall be turned against those who deride me. For they have no esteem for me, that thou may manifest thy might through me. Thou hast revealed thyself to me in thy power as perfect light, and thou hast not covered my face with shame. All those who are gathered in thy covenant inquire of me, and they hearken to me who walk in the way of thy heart, who array themselves for thee in the counsel of the holy. Thou wilt cause their law to endure forever, and truth to go forward unhindered, and thou wilt not allow them to be led astray by the hand of the damned when they plot against them. Thou wilt put the fear of them into thy people, and will make of them a hammer to all the peoples of the lands, that at the judgment they may cut off all those who transgress thy word. Through me thou hast illumined the face of the congregation, and hast shown your infinite power. For thou hast given me knowledge through thy marvelous mysteries, and hast shown thyself mighty within me in the midst of thy marvelous counsel. Thou hast done wonders before the congregation for the sake of thy glory, that they may make known thy mighty deeds to all the living. But what is flesh to be worthy of this? What is a creature of clay for such great marvels to be done? Whereas he is in iniquity from the womb, and in guilty unfaithfulness until his old age. Righteousness, I know, is not of man, nor is perfection of way of the Son of Man. To the Most High God belong all righteous deeds. The way of man is not established except by the Spirit which God created for him to make perfect a way for the children of men, that all his creatures might know the might of his power, and the abundance of his mercies towards all the sons of his grace. As for me, shaking and trembling seize me, and all my bones are broken. My heart dissolves like wax before fire, and my knees are like water pouring down a steep place. For I remember my sins and the unfaithfulness of my fathers. When the wicked rose against thy covenant and the damned against thy word, I said in my sinfulness, I am forsaken by thy covenant. But calling to mind the might of thy hand and the greatness of thy compassion, I rose and stood, and my spirit was established in face of the scourge. I lean on thy grace and on the multitude of thy mercies, for thou wilt pardon iniquity, and through thy righteousness thou wilt purify man of his sin. Not for his sake wilt thou do it, but for the sake of thy glory. For thou hast created the just and the wicked. I thank thee, O Lord, for thou hast not abandoned me whilst I sojourned among a people burdened with sin. Thou hast not judged me according to my guilt, nor hast thou abandoned me because of the designs of my inclination, but thou hast saved my life from the pit. Thou hast brought thy servant deliverance in the midst of lions destined to the guilty, and of lionesses which crush the bones of the mighty and drink the blood of the brave. Thou hast caused me to dwell with the many fishers who spread a net upon the face of the waters, and with the hunters of the children of iniquity. Thou hast established me there for justice. Thou hast confirmed the counsel of truth in my heart, and the waters of the covenant for those who seek it. Thou hast closed up the mouth of the young lions whose teeth are like a sword, and whose great teeth are like a pointed spear, like the venom of dragons. All their design is for robbery, and they have lain in wait, but they have not opened their mouth against me. For thou, O God, hast sheltered me from the children of men, and hast hidden thy law within me against the time when thou should reveal thy salvation to me. For thou hast not forsaken me in my soul's distress, and thou hast heard my cry in the bitterness of my soul. And when I groaned, thou didst consider my sorrowful complaint. Thou hast preserved the soul of the poor one in the den of lions, which sharpened their tongue like a sword. Thou hast closed up their teeth, O God, lest they rend the soul of the poor and needy. Thou hast made their tongue go back like a sword to its scabbard, lest the soul of thy servant be blotted out. Thou hast dealt wondrously with the poor one to manifest thy might within me in the presence of the sons of men. Thou hast placed him in the melting pot, like gold in the fire, and like silver refined in the melting pot of the smelters, to be purified 7 times. The wicked and fierce have stormed against me with their afflictions. They have pounded my soul all day. But thou, O my God, hast changed the tempest to a breeze. Thou hast delivered the soul of the poor one like a bird from the net, and like prey from the mouth of lions. Blessed art thou, O Lord, for thou hast not abandoned the fatherless or despised the poor. For thy might is boundless, and thy glory beyond measure, and wonderful heroes minister to thee. Yet hast thou done marvels among the humble in the mire underfoot, and among those eager for righteousness, causing all the well-loved poor to rise up together from the trampling. But I have been iniquity to those who contend with me, dispute and quarreling to my friends, wrath to the members of my covenant, and murmuring and protest to all my companions. All who have eaten my bread have lifted their heel against me, and all those joined to my counsel have mocked me with wicked lips. The members of my covenant have rebelled and have murmured round about me. They have gone as talebearers before the children of mischief concerning the mystery which thou hast hidden in me. And to show thy greatness through me, and because of their guilt, thou hast hidden the fountain of understanding and the counsel of truth. They consider but the mischief of their heart. With devilish schemings they unsheath a perfidious tongue from which ever springs the poison of dragons. And like serpents which creep in the dust, so do they let fly their poisonous darts. Viper's venom impossible to charm. And this has brought incurable pain, a malignant scourge within the body of thy servant, causing his spirit to faint and draining his strength so that he maintains no firm stand. They have overtaken me in a narrow pass without escape, and there is no rest for me in my trial. They sound my censure upon a harp, and their murmuring and storming upon a zither. Anguish and suffering seize me like the pangs of a woman in travail, and my heart is troubled within me. I am clothed in blackness, and my tongue cleaves to the roof of my mouth. For I fear the mischief of their heart, and their inclination towards evil appears as bitterness before me. The light of my face is dim to darkness, and my radiance is turned to decay. For thou, O God, didst widen my heart, but they straiten it with affliction and hedge me about with darkness. I eat the bread of wailing and drink unceasing tears. Truly my eyes are dimmed by grief, and my soul by daily bitterness. Groaning and sorrow encompass me, and ignominy covers my face. My bread is turned into an adversary, and my drink into an accuser. It has entered into my bones, causing my spirit to stagger and my strength to fail. According to the mysteries of sin, they change the works of God by their transgression. Truly I am bound with unterrible ropes and with unbreakable chains. A thick wall fences me in, iron bars and gates of bronze. My prison is counted with the abyss as being without any escape. The torrents of Satan have encompassed my soul, leaving me without deliverance.